Our next author, writer, is a stalwart here at Authors and Pubs. She's been here for, I think, over a year. If you go to kgw.com and type in Authors and Pubs, you'll see her on television. She was on a show called Live at 7. She was interviewed, did a very nice job. Please welcome Jennifer Willis.
I realized today that my first time at Authors and Pubs was last June, so this is my one-year anniversary here. Thank you. And this evening I'd like to share a personal essay with you. My name is Jennifer, and I'm a recovering scaredy cat. Several times a year I openly declare that I'm fed up with being afraid all the time. I'll pick a new activity or business strategy that I hope will help me overcome my inner chicken nature. I suppose I grew up scared, to try new things, to risk looking foolish, to get hurt, to just be wrong. In elementary school, I was cast in a play but was too shy to raise my voice above a whisper even in rehearsals. As a teenager, I was too afraid to pick up the phone to order pizza. I made my younger sister do it. On the other hand, I have jumped out of an airplane, traveled solo in foreign countries, and even belly danced on MTV. But coming up against the bounds of my narrow comfort zone makes me anxious, and it pisses me off. One spring afternoon, I showed up at my boyfriend's house as he was assembling his gear for a casual game of inline hockey. Mike loves hockey. He's good on his skates, and I enjoy watching him. For more than a year, Mike had been trying to get me to play, despite my protests that I can barely skate and that I don't know the rules. Plus, I didn't have health insurance. My scaredy cat brain called up images of head trauma and compound leg fractures whenever I even thought of strapping on a pair of inline skates. I should get a helmet, I said as Mike packed his fragrant hockey bag. Joe's is having a sale. I could use it for snowboarding and skating. I was rationalizing. Mike did get me up on a snowboard a couple of times, even though I spent significantly more time on my butt in the snow than I did on the board. I fell down on the bunny slope so many times that I had black and purple bruises on my backside. A few weeks later, Mike gave me a pair of padded shorts for Valentine's Day. Now that's love. But that afternoon, Mike looked up from his bag. "If you had gear, would you play?" he asked. I felt an uneasy rush of adrenaline. I didn't want to make promises, but since I didn't actually have any gear, I figured I was safe. "Probably," I replied. Mike stood up straight and rested his hands on his hips. "Okay, you're playing. Today." "What?" I squealed, gripping the back of the chair as if my life depended on it. "Your skates are already in the car, and you can borrow some of my old gear. If it's too big, we'll tape it down." Mike pulled pads off of shelves and t-shirts out of the drawers to outfit me for the hockey scrimmage. By the time he was done with me, the only things of my own I was wearing were my skates and my underwear. Everything else, from socks to shorts to shin guards to helmet, was his. And it all smelled like his hockey bag, too. We arrived at the playground Mike and his friends used as an after-hours playing surface. I strapped on Mike's gear, held in place with what seemed like an entire roll of black tape. Shakily, I climbed to my feet, or my wheels. Mike put a hockey stick in my hands, and I tottered across the pavement. "Woohoo!" Our friend Ariana called out, "Look at the new hockey player!" She knew how scared I was. I shot Mike a plaintive glance. He smiled. "You said you wanted to stop being so afraid all the time," he said. Mike dropped the puck, and the game was on. With the sun setting in my eyes and the too large helmet floating on my head, it was a challenge to keep track of the puck. I steered myself in the general direction of most of the activity, though the pack of players had moved on by the time I got there. I swore I could feel staph infection seeping into my skin inside the stinky, sweat-stained gloves, but I gripped the hockey stick and tried not to trip myself up with it. I skated mostly in straight lines, occasionally managing a slow, awkward turn, never backwards, at least not on purpose. Most of the players simply ignored me. I was more obstacle than asset. But Ariana's husband Dave told me I had good hustle. Mike passed me the puck a couple of times and complimented me on a few good passes I made, ignoring when I smacked the puck out of bounds or just missed it altogether. Then Seth shot the puck across the pavement. It skittered between my skates, and for the 22nd time, I nearly lost my balance as the other players went zooming past me. I struggled to turn around without falling over, and I realized I had a huge smile on my face. "Oh my God!" I shouted beneath a borrowed helmet and layers of padding. "I totally suck at this, but I'm having fun." Amazingly, I only fell down once. I wasn't anywhere near the puck or any other players. I just went down. I also crashed face first into Ariana and Dave's 8-year-old son, who is a very good hockey player, but we both stayed up on our skates. I didn't score any goals, but I didn't break any bones either. I was in the game not quite half the time they played. My muscles were so sore for the next several hours that I groaned going up and down stairs. Mike teased me, but I had a quiet glow of satisfaction. I did it. I played street hockey. At the climbing gym on our second date, I'd admitted to Mike that when there's something I want to do that scares me, it makes me angry. And I try to use that anger to push myself past my fear. At the time, he nodded in appreciation, though he later admitted he'd spent the next several weeks thinking of me as fear and anger woman. It's not a perfect system. I still slip into Scaredy Cat mode. It's frustrating. But this outside-in approach to courage, of trying something that's demanding or intimidating, does sometimes take me far enough outside my comfort zone, even into smelly hockey gear, and gives me the confidence to tackle the more mundane but still awkward tasks of living. I played street hockey, so why not call that editor about the story idea I pitched? I played street hockey, so why not confront my neighbors about double parking and blocking traffic? Traditional 12-step meetings counsel, it works if you work it, so work it. It's a given that I'll stumble. I'll end up with a sore backside or a bruised ego. But whether it's snowboarding or writing or rock climbing or just living my life, I'm guaranteed not to get anywhere if I don't give it a try. My name is Jennifer. I'm a recovering Scaredy Cat, and I played street hockey.
Good read, short person. Wow.
That's all relative, dog.
Hey,
You said it.
congratulations, 1 year. This is a prop, not a real beer.